Good morning, everyone. This is Gary Kay, and I have a super special guest for my Rants or Raves podcast today, a future podcast videocaster extraordinaire and current editor of our newsletters, Steph Beckett. Hey, Steph, how are you?
Hey, Gary, I'm good. How are you?
Our viewers may already be familiar with you. Why is that? Where have they seen you before? Because you look familiar today.
If they've seen me before, it's probably either from the good old InfoComm days of the before times when I hosted the game for the past 4 years and probably yelled at them on the show floor, or as the current host of most of our launch events.
Yeah, I'm guessing a lot of them have probably seen you on the launch events. As you probably know, that Launch is our virtual event platform. But Steph is going to do something really cool that a lot of you probably will really enjoy. I know a lot of you have your CTS, but a lot don't. A lot of people still don't have their CTS, Steph, including Steph. She's been writing about this stuff. So I challenged her to get her CTS, and she's like, hey, I have this idea. Instead of me just getting my CTS alone, why don't I get it with a few thousand other people out there? So she's starting a podcast called what, Steph?
It's called Study with Steph.
I like the name, Study with Steph. Podcast called Study. Why is it called Study with Steph?
So the whole idea was when you brought up getting my CTS, I was like, oh my God, yes, fantastic. I am team get as much education as you can, clearly. But when you brought up like wanting everyone in the company to have it, like in a perfect world, and, wanting most of the industry to have their CTS, I thought, you know what? Why don't I kind of document my journey studying for it and taking the test and kind of letting everyone know as I go along the things that I thought were important and the things that I thought were key as I move through this kind of big and daunting textbook as I'm trying to study. So the things that I think are important, the things that trip me up, I want to bring on industry experts that can help me really move through this and put things into layman's terms. And I thought the AV math portion was going to be really, really difficult. Math sort of scares me. It was like my worst subject in school. So I want to do an entire episode just breaking down AV math, the things that are important, the great ways to study, because math is kind of hard to study for. So figuring out what works and what doesn't. How many times I have to take the test, even if I fail it the first time and have to come back.
Well, let's back up just a second.
Okay.
So this is going to be a podcast where people can actually join and listen to your journey. And you're going to take them through the journey of starting from the very beginning through each chapter and then taking the test over what period of time? When does this start?
So we're going to start in January. We're going to start right with the beginning of the year. We're going to make that our New Year's resolution, get your CTS. So we're going to start really beginning of the year. The goal is going to be for me to take it around InfoComm time. So whether, obviously we're planning on being there in person. So to take it at InfoComm would be like the goal, and to have my CTS come this summer.
So in fact, I have an idea. Let's see if you get all of your followers to take the test with you, and let's throw them a reception. So at InfoComm 2021, let's have a reception for not just Steph, but all of her Study with Steph buddies that she's going to get online over this journey. What do you think about that idea, Steph?
I love that idea, a Stephception.
There you go, Stephception. We're going to have a Stephception at InfoComm with all of your buddies who are going to be taking the CTS test. And we are going to we're going to follow along your journey. So basically, starting January, you hope within 6 months, take the test at InfoComm. We have a reception for all of you who passed or failed the test the first or second time that you've taken it.
If you failed, it's going to be a better luck next time reception.
Yeah, there you go. And so the idea is you're going to do a podcast. How often are you going to podcast, by the way? How often will we hear you?
Yeah. So the goal, I think, is to have one episode a week. I don't want to overload people if it's like a really daunting subject matter. But just to, do like 30 to 45 minute episodes, because some chapters do take a little bit longer to explain. And if it's, something really heavy, maybe leaning a little longer than 30 minutes, but yeah, one episode a week. keep it relatively short, not trying to go an hour and a half to 2 hours or anything. That's like a lot.
But what's going to be is you're going to literally have a study session. So they're going to be able to kind of listen to your journey, listen to you understand it. You're going to have guests on that can explain things that you don't understand.
Yep.
And this is a great opportunity for the industry to study with Steph literally and earn your CTS at the end. Steph, I'm really excited and proud that you're doing this. Let's have a Stephception at InfoComm.
Sounds good to me. I'll see you before the Stephception, but I'll see you at the Stephception too.
Well, the Study with Steph will be at ravepubs.com. You'll see us all over social. And of course you can follow Steph at, just go look for her on LinkedIn at Steph Beckett, STEPH Beckett, BECKETT on LinkedIn. I'll link her LinkedIn profile in this podcast, because that way, in this videocast, that way you can actually connect with her on LinkedIn. I'm sure she will be posting about this on LinkedIn as well. So it's a way for you to get notified whenever she does a Study with Steph or post it up there. But about once a week, so about 25 of them, it sounds like, between now and between January and InfoComm. Steph Beckett, definitely follow her. You already read what she writes about. You've probably seen her on launch events. We're proud to have her. And Steph, thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Gary. Looking forward to
Everyone,
it.
thanks for watching. You can see all of our podcasts, videocast at rAVEPubs.com. And of course, follow Study with Steph at rAVEPubs.com starting January 2021.
Bye, everybody.